Zach, it was Thanksgiving this past week.
It was.
A very beautiful week, and one that I'll remember forever. Because I invited some of my coworkers who didn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving to, like, come hang out here, right? I was like, hey, you guys, we're kind of friends, so, like, come hang out over here for Thanksgiving since you guys don't have families and whatnot. And they kindly accepted. The two of them showed up. One of them showing up on time while I showed him around the house was like, welcome to my abode. Sit, please, let's all eat. The other one texts me and says I'm going to be 10 minutes late. And I'm like, oh, man, what a loser. So he misses, the blessing with the whole family and the initial me yelling, food, that I always do, and then running over and grabbing food. And anyways, we all sit down downstairs, and this guy, he shows up, and he walks into my house, and I'm like, oh, yes, cool, I've got my two coworkers here now. This is great. I never bring friends to Thanksgiving. So we're hanging out. I show him where the food's at. He grabs his plate and joins me and the other guy at the table downstairs. We're all talking, gossiping about work, and this guy, he's like just joining in. He sets his plate down, cuts his first little piece of turkey and puts it in his mouth and goes, and I look over and go, are you choking? And he
oh my God.
My other coworker shoots up out of his chair, runs over and puts his hands under his sternum to do the Heimlich maneuver, and then fails because he's not, the other guy's like a foot taller than me and this other guy. Like he's literally like 7 to 12 inches taller. So he's just putting his hand in his stomach and just like squeezing him. And then all of a sudden, a family member of mine, well, not really a family member, a relative of mine comes running down the stairs, throws their plate into my grandfather's hands, and runs over. Now, this guy is taller than the other guy.
Good.
So he runs over, puts his hand beneath this tall man's sternum, and lifts him up like a baby, and Heimlich maneuvers him. And I kid you not, my coworker, after getting the Heimlich maneuver, one, doesn't quite dislodge what's in his throat. Two, leans over the table and goes, oh, I'm so sorry about this. And my whole family goes, no! Like, you're fine. It's not your fault that you're choking. Like, I'm literally sitting here watching him die.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. And then he dies.
Yeah. I'm like,
well, I think he should be sorry about that if he just keeled over, because then, like, there's going to be questions. There's going to be, like, it's a whole hassle on Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah, and he, like, I'm watching his face turn, like, red and purple. I'm like, oh my gosh, he can't breathe right now. Like, he can't. So all of this happens finally after getting the Heimlich maneuver 2 more times, which, that's dangerous. Your ribs could break. Like, they could squeeze you in all the wrong places and get some stuff out of shape. Like, the Heimlich maneuver is not good for you. It just saves your life. Luckily, he was able to cough hard enough from it that it slightly dislodged, and then we got him a trash can. We wiped his face off. He went outside and just sat and, like, finally got it out of his throat into this trash can.
Dang.
And this happened on his first bite of food at my Thanksgiving.
And he showed up late, so, like, everyone's eyes were on him, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. He was like, being loud and fun, and it was like, yeah, cool. Yeah, he's the late guy. Nice. Like, that's so cool. What a Chad. And then he sits down, immediately chokes, and it's like a sitcom moment. Like, literally, the whole, like, and then all of a sudden, one person shoots up and gives the Heimlich maneuver. Like, it was exactly that. Like they teach you to do in RA training in college.
Yeah, exactly. Like they taught me when I was an RA in college.
So, yeah, how was your thanks? Oh, yeah. I didn't even drop the ending. I cut the turkey.
You got to cut the turkey?
I cut the turkey, meaning I caused him to almost die.
Oh.
Because it was like, yeah. I'm the one who cut the turkey. So, like, I'm just saying, it was an inside job.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the only coach at Ninja Nation.
Come to my house where you won't die. You don't have any friends or family that will miss you?
He said he was going to be late, and I put all the rigged turkey pieces in there, the ones that are ready to be choked on.
It sounds like the perfect... Now, honestly, actually, I feel like if... the police did come and he did die, you would be suspect number one, honestly.
Yeah, I would look at them and go, I got the turkey.
Book 'em.
On Free Balloon Day. So how was your Thanksgiving, Zach?
I had a great Thanksgiving. I actually had 2 Thanksgivings because I went to my family's Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving, and then on Black Friday we went to my Zach's girlfriend Eric's mom's place. Yeah, yeah. And we went to and did their Thanksgiving. It was a nice family gathering. No one died. No one really choked. So, all things considered, it was probably far more entertaining than yours. Just for the fact of no one choking, which is my favorite thing to see.
That's one thing I do miss about living with Drew is that I always got to go to his family's Thanksgiving too, or they would come over to our place and we would all cook there. So I would get my family's Thanksgiving and I would come home to all of them in our apartment and we would just do 2 Thanksgivings. So it was like 2 for 1. Like I get to go home to Thanksgiving.
Now, did you get double Thanksgiving leftovers?
Yeah, because him and Drew's girlfriend Eric never finished all of their food, so they would be like, yeah, this is just up for grabs, except Drew was just very, very protective of his antipasta, which is like, an Italian thing.
Antipasta on Thanksgiving.
Speaking of Italians, did you see the new Mario movie trailer?
I did not. I did see a GIF of it, though, of Donkey Kong just beating the shit out of Mario. So I know that's in it.
Yeah, that's the opening to the trailer.
Oh, perfect.
It looks like a banger, dude. I fully went into the casting list thinking, no way, this is a good movie. I think it's gonna be a really good movie, like at least Sonic the Hedgehog 2 level.
Yeah, I mean,
like a good kids movie.
Yeah,
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, I have full confidence in hitting that Detective Pikachu, Sonic the Hedgehog, level of quality. My thing is, as a child, I would have gone ballistic. You're telling me that there's a Super Mario Brothers movie where it's not 2 grown men and nothing looks like it's from Mario? I would have shat my pants, but it's now. I'm a grown man. My excitement over Mario is not what it used to be.
You say that till you watch the trailer. Because I agree. I agree that they said a Mario movie made by Illumination, the people who made Minions. I thought the same thing. And then I watched the trailer, and the nostalgia hit hard, and it was like watching the latest season of the Pokemon anime, if you haven't done that yet. Because I watched the latest season, skipping all of the recent stuff, and all the normal, Monster of the Week episodes went just right to the World Tournament, where Ash Ketchum is competing against the greatest trainers in all of the anime to become the best champion because he won the Alolan League.
Ooh.
So, Super Mario movie looks amazing. Let me tell you, the finale of Ash facing off against the best trainer in the world is so badass and so cool, and I almost shed a tear because they do references back to the original anime and stuff. All of his allies, you can see them all over the world watching. He battles against Cynthia and Lance and all the best trainers.
It's all the champions are there? Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it's him, and he's the underdog. He's number 8 in the lineup, and everybody else is ranked higher than him.
Well, as it should be. I mean, I haven't seen the recent anime, so maybe Ash is competent now, but he doesn't belong there.
So yeah, up until the newest anime, Pokemon Journeys, which you can find on Netflix, Ash was completely incompetent, and they paint him as starting out I'm just they've come up with this new world league that's going on in Pokemon, and he wants to be ranked number 1, and so that's his whole journey, and he travels alongside his friend Go. Yeah, that's his name, Go.
Go?
Like Pokemon Go.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, his friend's name is Go, but it has an H at the end, so it's okay. So G-O-H. Yeah. So his friend's name is Go, and Go's the whole thing is he wants to collect all the Pokemon, and he saw Mew when he was a kid, and he wants to meet Mew. So Go's whole thing is collecting like Pokemon Go. That's his.
I mean that's cute though, because there's the one part. you gotta beat them all. You gotta beat everyone with your Pokemon, but then you gotta catch them all.
Yeah, and Ash's thing is he's like Gon from Hunter x Hunter, where he's just a really nice, friendly like kid who wants to befriend the Pokemon, who wants to have good Pokemon, and who wants to compete. So he has a stacked team. Like, he goes into this Elite Four like I'm going into the Elite Four, like stacked up, fully trained, ready to go Pokemon. And it's actually really good.
Nice.
Like, the fights are animated well. There's not too much of the like lame like campy Pokemon-esqueness to it. Like, Team Rocket doesn't intervene in the middle of everything. They're there, but they don't like do anything. They're just cheering for Ash.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
Quite literally, they're in the crowd like as live streamers, like influencers, and they're just standing there. And eventually, they stop trying to like mess around and do their stuff, and they just see what's going on, and they're like, you know what? Let's stop doing what we're doing. You go, kid! Like, and it's so good.
Is it still Jesse and James?
Yeah, Jesse, James, and Meow.
Nice.
Yeah. So all of it pays off as you get down to the last episode. And I won't tell you whether Ash becomes the champion or not. I'll just tell you I almost shed a tear a little bit.
Well, I have heard that the recent anime has gotten a lot better than it was for like all of it. So that's good.
Yeah. No, whenever we were in lockdown 2 years ago, I did watch the first season of Pokemon Journeys, and it was very good. They were just coming out with too many episodes. I was like, I don't want to watch 200 and something episodes of like Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
Every now and then they would have like an arc that was from the games or like a really good arc. And Ash was still going around and battling people and stuff all the time, meeting up with his old friends. He travels in Pokemon Journeys he travels with Dawn for a while, with Misty and them he meets back up with everybody. Like, everything's like still canon. He's still 10.
Yeah.
500 something episodes, or I don't know how many episodes are out now, but all of those, and he's still 10 years old. But yeah, we get to the end, and it pays off, and I have no clue what they're gonna do in the Pokemon anime past this, or like in the whole storyline. Like, are they passing the torch because he doesn't have to do anything anymore?
Wow, Seth, you said you wouldn't spoil it, but I feel you heavily implied what happened.
Yeah.
All our audience members are going to be so disappointed.
They're going to be so disappointed
when they know that Ash loses at the end. That's what happens.
Ash totally doesn't beat Leon's butt.
Yeah, no, that would never happen.
Yeah. Anyways, it was very satisfying. I enjoyed it a lot. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Welcome to TableTalk Friday. My name is Seth Pittman, and I'm joined by only Zach Carvon today because Andrew Romano is not feeling too hot. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And I haven't discussed this with anyone, but I can't help but feel a little guilty because I'm sure so like a few weeks ago you got sick. And then just after that, I got sick. And now just after that, Drew got sick. I'm pretty sure it went from you to me to him.
Well, and honestly, everybody I know has gotten sick like lately. So even if it wasn't that, it's very heavily implied that it's just gone around our area.
Yeah, no, it's been going. I mean, not just our area. Like, I work remote with people from all over the country, and it's just that season.
Yeah, it's a bad year for the flu.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been mostly flu, I think, is what people are getting.
Yeah. Not the other thing.
Yeah, the day I got sick, I was scheduled to get my flu shot the next day. And so I got sick, and then I was scheduled to get my flu shot. I wake up with over 100 fever, and I'm like, well, I can't go get a flu shot now.
No flu shot for me. I'm already immune.
Of one strain.
Yeah, exactly. Still get your flu shots.
So today's topic, guys, there was a new One D&D video that got dropped, all about bringing up the results of the recent survey from the first Unearthed Arcana, which was the things like the feats in the background, showing us some guidance on the newest feats and the way they're being arranged, the spell lists, all kinds of like the very baseline stuff, and they revealed their feedback, and we're going to talk about the results of that today. Zach, what are your surface level thoughts on the results from the One D&D?
Well, so just getting into it, there were a couple points that they talked about where I felt, yes, they heard me and everyone else because
exactly.
Because I had a I'll just say it. Big problem with Ardlings. I really don't like them as they're written as like this angelic beast race thing. It sounds like that was a shared sentiment.
A common sentiment,
yeah. And so moving forward, they're still going to be in the game. They're still going to be Ardlings, which in general, I feel like if they remove them, I wouldn't miss them at all. I mean, obviously, we haven't even played with them yet, but if what they've decided to do is leave them in the game, but rather than having them be this weird angelic beast thing where they're sort of bumping heads with the Aasimar, and it's like a weird, okay, what is this? They're supposedly, and it hasn't been explicitly stated how they're doing it, but they're definitely toning back the celestial, angelical angle, and they're mostly going to be beast people now, which I think is, just in general, I think it's a good move for the player who wants to be a beast folk, because, not everyone wants to be a holy type character. Like, there's just a weird niche that race fit into before, so I think in general, leaning away from the angelic part is probably good for accessibility for more players.
Yeah, what they talked about was more like, that's my more preferred method of it is, hey, I'm cool with beast people. I mean, we already have shifters, we already have stuff like that. I'd rather them be a little more related to something like a lycanthrope or something like that. Maybe there's some sort of curse put on certain people, and I don't even want to say curse because I don't want to make it too tiefling-esque, but like, yeah, some sort of effect on people that makes them kind of beast-like. I mean, I still don't like them that much. Based on after hearing your opinion, I was like, oh, I don't really care. And then after hearing your opinion, I was like, well, I kind of do care now. So yeah, I'm glad they're pulling back the celestial nature. The one thing I was happy about that they talked about next to the Ardling was Dragonborn. Now I'm not super satisfied with the way they're going with it right now, where they're still like, yeah, there's a base Dragonborn, and then there's all these other ones in Fizzbands, where I'm like, okay, but the Fizzbands ones are like cooler, so can we just make those the base? I'm not a huge fan of that. I get it. It's just not taking up space in the book. Basically, like, hey, we don't want to write out that there's metallic, chromatic, and gem. We just want to have a little table with all the different properties, and we're going to mess with the breath weapon.
Yeah, I mean,
I just hate breath weapon.
At the same time, though, I feel there's a way for them to take the Fizzbands options and present them in a way that's akin with some of the other options in the new One D&D, because they've got elves. They have high elf, wood elf, drow lineage. It's all in there. They've got tieflings, and they even added an extra lineage, two, right? For tieflings, whatever. It's infernal, abyssal, and chthonic.
Yep.
Added that in there. So if we're doing like rules of 3 for the subclasses, or
what's wrong
sub-races,
with metallic, chromatic, and gem?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that difficult. Well, I don't want to say it's not that difficult because I don't work for them, but yeah, I could see it working just fine that way. And in the originals, like, so are we going to get to the new player's handbook? And we've already written off Artificers. Are we also writing off Gem Dragonborn and stuff? Like, are those not going to be there anymore? Because that's kind of what I'm assuming, is that this is going to come out and it's just going to be metallic and chromatic again. And then now we have this kind of, it feels like now it's butting heads against all the Fizzband stuff. It's like, okay, let's write off the book. Like, I would kind of like to hear that, though. Like, yeah, we like Fizzbands, we're just going forward with something different. Would honestly be better to say than, yeah, just use it all.
Yeah, so I'm of multiple minds about this, because on the one hand, I understand that One D&D, I mean, they're not calling it 6th edition, but it's very much, it's a new version of D&D, so in the baseline rules, gem dragons are sort of, extra, right? They don't commonly exist in, like, the standard, typical world of D&D. They're sort of brought in as an extra thing that exists in some places and has a lot to do with like the outer planes and weird magic going on. So okay, fine, gem dragons, they're not baseline, but it's just unfortunate timing because Fizzbands just came out last year
and it was a banger book.
Yeah,
like I still love most of the stuff in that book and use it frequently.
Or I say last year, it was earlier this year, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was like close to the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a shame that we're keeping baseline Dragonborn, but they said they are going to mess with the breath weapon, which is another thing I just don't like about Dragonborn, because it's past like level 3, it's too weak.
Yeah, and Jeremy Crawford, hope you're enjoying the show, He also mentioned something new at 5th level for Dragonborn, so I'm not sure what that's about.
I'm a little bit curious, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah, also teased in this little video, which I feel like the most exciting parts are outside of the survey things and just sort of expanding on some of the little things that were hinted at, especially in the expert classes UA. But one thing that was mentioned is an additional race that we haven't seen yet, or maybe not a race. That it was super vague, but I believe he mentioned a surprise guest, or some additional player in there. That'll be included in the next Unearthed Arcana with clerics and the changes to Dragonborn and Ardlings.
Yeah. So what they kind of went over at the beginning was talking about how they rated the satisfaction, where pretty much everything that they saw was like 80% or above, which is insane for a survey to be that positive, which I thought the D&D community was far more negative than it is apparently, because I just assumed that, most of their stuff was like 50% and below. No, they said that's extremely rare. And even in this survey, they had nothing rate below 60%. 60% was the Dragonborn, the D20 test, which was any 1 and any 20, pass and fail. And then, do you remember what the third thing was?
I think Ardlings were also in that 60% range, but Dragonborn were, I believe, the least popular thing in this whole original
Which,
UA.
Those were the things I majorly had problems with. So, hey, we shared the common sentiment. That's good. Outside of that, everything else was pretty highly rated. They said if it was in the 70th percentile range, they might have some tweaking to do, but it'll most likely stay. So most of the other stuff is going to stay with some slight tweaks. And then the 80% is like, oh, they don't want like something like this. They want this exactly. And in here, we found that the background feats were well loved amongst all people who took the survey. So I think they said 87% responded extremely satisfied to the background feats, which I am very happy to hear because I love the background feats. I think they're an amazing addition, and it incentivizes me to start my One D&D campaign at level 1. Like I promise you, when we get to that point, I will start us at level 1 because we have background feats. Like otherwise, I would have started you at like level 2 or 3.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like that's a perfect way to make first level play enjoyable at all. And there's tons of other stuff that's been teased that may also play into this. But it feels like in current 5th edition, first level play is very hit or miss. In combat, that's literal. It's all based on what your rolls are because no one's got high enough to hit mod, and it's life or death situations with almost any monster you encounter. So any way to make my first level character feel a little bit more powerful, feel a little bit more unique, not just like every other paladin, because I don't have my subclass yet, that's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So great turnout for the background feats, go team. But we also talked about, let's see, what else did they bring up? I'm trying to think, because there was one other major thing I had on my mind.
You thinking about the bastion system?
No, but go ahead.
Well, and this was teased as well in the expert classes UA. I'm not sure if we even mentioned it, but it was things to look forward to is a new system for managing a home base for your group.
So I was not listening that closely, apparently.
No, and so it's been teased. Jeremy mentioned it's going to be called the Bastion system, and we still don't have too many details about it, but it sounds more or less sort of this idea of managing a home base and having NPCs located there, and then having downtime activities that your party can participate there, which in the DMG we included a lot of downtime activities, and even in Xanathar's, I believe
everyone's
they were
favorite
revised.
book.
Yeah, exactly. But now they're trying to find somewhere else to use them. So that sounds neat. Personally, I have few thoughts about it until I actually see it. But it sounds more or less like something like group patrons or ship combat that have shown up in, supplemental books here and there, just with some extra things that you can or cannot do at your table. I feel like we'll probably we'll have to see, but this is probably one that we may take or leave.
I actually like the idea of it a lot, only because having you guys think up and design a base for yourselves sounds really nice. To be like, oh yeah, we're going back to, name base here, Titan Walker Keep, like we had at Storm Kings. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going back to Titan Walker Keep, and this is our place. We know the things we can do here. We know all the things that happen here. It is nice to have that place, especially in a campaign like our current one, where you guys are traveling around all the time. You don't really have a place to go back to. I mean, I guess Candlekeep is kind of the safe haven, but even then, it's just Oswind's workshop that's there.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's something that we haven't landed on. It's difficult when you're an adventurer going on adventures to find things to do with your home base. So maybe if there's some sort of incentives or clever ways that we can incorporate the base, without bringing the whole game to a halt.
Really depends on the themes of the campaign, I think.
Yeah, then maybe.
I remember what I was thinking. So we were on the topic of feats, and I wanted to talk about their response to Sharpshooter and Great Weapon Master.
Yeah.
Because I thought that he said exactly my thoughts and feelings as a DM, which was that they wanted to de-incentivize needing to take something to deal the proper damage. They want the classes themselves to be powerful enough that you don't need to take Sharpshooter or Great Weapon Master for them to be viable and good. Probably the best wording they could have used for it, as well as really excites me for what we're going to see in the Warrior, like the upcoming Warrior Unearthed Arcana, because I'm like, oh, you're buffing. Like, you took away the powerful feat to do something for these characters, so that way they are powerful in their own right.
Yeah, so this is the thing that I'm... Jeremy said it. It stuck in my brain. I haven't stopped thinking about it since, is the new weapon options, which he's right, completely overlooked in the UA. It was mentioned there as things to look forward to. I'm like, okay, cool. I really don't care, because you said that there's 48 subclasses, and I'm doing the math in my head, and I'm thinking there's not enough space for artificers, and I'm right, Jeremy. You said there's 12 total classes, 4 subclasses for each. That's a load of bull hockey. What am I going to do with all this Artificer stuff?
I know. Artificer's such a good class, too. One of my favorites to play.
Yeah, mine, too. I've got a 15th level Artificer here. Going through hell, he's going to be my last.
Yeah, it's a little irritating that the Artificer doesn't get more love. I'm guessing that we're just going to see an expansion in the future that's Artificer. If we get a whole book that's Artificer, I would love that. If it's just like, hey, this is a 1D&D, 12 base classes, and here to the side is an Artificer expansion, then I'd be like, okay, I'm into it.
I'm sure 1, maybe 2 years after the the core rule books drop, we'll get another Xanathars with subclasses, and they might throw the Artificer in there since it was so well built out in 5th edition, but
disappointing to see it go away for now.
Yeah, at the same time, though, I think if we really, really wanted to, we could probably still play with the 5th edition Artificer, and it would be compatible enough.
Yeah, I think so, too. I just don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, it would be nice if we didn't have to do that, if it would just be there, but...
But anyway, getting back to the weapon options, I have no idea what it means, but there seems to be an emphasis on giving the martial classes some extra oomph baked in with their class abilities. So, again, I'm scared for paladins for what that might mean, because they're not included in the warrior group with the cool kids like barbarians and fighters. But apparently there's going to be some new weapon options granted to the martial classes. So I have no idea what that means. But my mind immediately goes to 5e supplement that you like a lot.
Yes.
The Tome of Heroes for Kobold Press. And their alternative actions that you can take in combat with that are specific to certain weapon types. I'm thinking that's probably going to have something to do with it. So
I'm thinking so too. I'm thinking they might have a sharpshooter-like ability that's like, hey, you can subtract a number and add a number. They might have like a, certain types of shots you can do with your bow or certain types of swings, like a reckless swing or something like that. I don't have a great thought as to what all of it could mean, but I'm excited to see what they come up with. I'm guessing with the heavy weapon property and all of that, things are going to be changing. So I guess we'll see when it happens. We've already seen the light weapons with being able to have 2 in your hand and get a free extra attack.
Yeah, which, I'm still not in love with that idea, but that was also touched on in the video. Jeremy Crawford mentioned the idea behind that was to free up the bonus action for those players who just want to dual wield because they think it's cool. But then there are so many classes that really don't gel with that fantasy very well. Artificer, for example. You've always got your bonus action for, if you're a battle master, or if you have a homunculus servant, you're always using that bonus action for that. Beastmaster Ranger, and any of the companion classes, really that bonus action is already taken up. But then, Rogue. I want to be a dual-wielding Rogue. Well, you can cunning action, or you can make your second attack. You can't do both. It's, so I like the idea there. I'm interested to play test it, and, see how well it actually plays with the rest of it.
Yeah, I think unaccompanied by any good abilities to go along with it, then maybe with a good fighting style or something like that, it'll become very nice. Otherwise, right now, it's just okay. Cool. It's nice to see. I might do an extra 3 or 4 damage,
Yeah.
That's cool. But otherwise, doesn't really matter to me that much. It's just a nice little touch that's okay, cool. I get something free if I'm going to dual wield. I've never dual wielded before as a character, but I wouldn't be opposed to it now that there's a free attack along with it.
Yeah, well, and ultimately, I feel like if you're dual wielding, you're doing it for the style of it.
Yes, I mean, dual wielding just sounds and looks cool.
Yeah.
Anything we're missing right now?
Well, of course, there is there was talk about the new spell lists,
yes,
and the feedback to that. So, as we mentioned in our coverage of the expert classes UA, we weren't super huge fans of having the arcane, divine, and primal spell lists, but then having these classes like the bard and the ranger that don't get to pick everything from that list. And so essentially what they have is a curated list that's specific to only their class. And wow, it's just like what we had in the original 2014 Player's Handbook with 7 more steps. And so that was addressed. Jeremy Crawford mentioned that in the new Player's Handbook, that they don't have any current plans to do away with the 3 spell lists, but there is the potential for making it easier for players who choose a particular class that has a limited spell list to just pick from those spells. It sounds like and honestly, I'm not sure how great an idea this is, but it sounds like they're going to have those 3 main spell lists and then also additional spell lists for some classes, which at that point,
if that's the case, it's going to piss me off.
Yeah, just give every class a spell list.
It is going to make me so angry if that is the case. It's yeah, we're redesigning this game to make everything simpler, more friendly. So we added these 3 categories, and you can only pick certain spells from each one, as if it's the original Player's Handbook where you go to the back of the book and it says the spells for each class. Now, I'm not a fan of the way that the original one is laid out either. Don't get me wrong, I don't like that. But likewise, I don't have a better way to do it, and I still don't like the 3 spell lists as much. I don't like being oh yeah, Bard, you can pick anything from the arcane spell list. Well, as long as it's illusion or as long as it's blah blah blah, whatever. So yeah, I hope that it is continued to be revised. I will continue to submit my surveys on it. Because I currently don't like the way it's laid out, because it's just even more convoluted than it was before.
Yeah, still not a fan. But there was also mention that the, confirmation, I feel like we already knew.
Eldritch Blast.
Oh, well, yeah, Eldritch Blast is back.
It will probably be on the arcane spell list, meaning a wizard can probably take Eldritch Blast, is what I picked up.
I think... we might have heard 2 different things, but my understanding was that Eldritch Blast hasn't gone away. It just will be mentioned when we're talking about warlocks.
Oh, maybe
So
the case is it's a warlock,
specific spell, or it's
like
not
it's a class
spell.
feature. Like
Yeah.
every warlock has Eldritch Blast. Like that might be the case.
I feel that's what it sounded like to me. But in any case, there was also just the mention that clerics, it's confirmed, will just have access to the whole divine spell list. Wizards will just have access to the whole arcane spell list, which makes sense. So for those two classes, it'll be really easy. I'm curious. The sorcerers, I'm also curious if they're not going to be able to pick from the whole arcane spell list.
Right.
Will they have their curated list as well?
And also, which class of spells would the sorcerer not have access to? Like, when I think about it, I'm like, okay, well, which ones are you taking
they
away?
get all the schools, so are we saying that, well, you don't get this one and this one and this one, these specific named spells?
So now the bard only has access to specific schools, the sorcerer has access to specific spells.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is my sincere prayer to you, Jeremy Crawford. When you release the mage UA and include warlocks and sorcerers, just for me, if you could give sorcerer access to all the spells on the arcane spell list, I feel like that. Yeah, they still have fewer spells than the wizard. They don't have the book. They don't have the ability to add more spells to their book, or the way that they arrange their spells. That's all still wizard specific. I feel like sorcerers deserve just if a wizard can cast it, a sorcerer can cast it, just not as many.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I agree. I think that should be the case. As far as their discussion of the Unearthed Arcana, I think we've covered most of everything.
Yeah,
I'll let you go.
check
You
my
have
notes.
actual notes that I don't have. I'm more of a by the seat of my pants kind of guy.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, anyway, I covered them all.
Cool. We have covered pretty much everything on the Unearthed Arcana. As far as like my final thoughts on that, I'm very happy that everything was received so positively. I can only imagine the expert classes one went just as well because I liked that one a lot more. But like save a couple of things. They did speak about the Ranger as well, and how it was received a little bit, where their original thoughts on the Ranger were like, oh yeah, this is like a really cool idea for a class. They wrote it all out and they gave it a bunch of abilities that would help a lot if the DM buys into the way the Ranger works. So like the primeval awareness type stuff, putting those kinds of creatures in their range, giving them the domain to be in charge of, like, oh yeah, this campaign's going to take place in a lot of forests, so the Ranger, like, I'll put them in a lot of forests so the Ranger can use their benefits. Where it's like, okay, the DM has to buy in, but if the DM is not like really getting creative for the Ranger in the party, it wasn't really fun to play one. So they talked a little bit about that and why they're rebalancing it so that a Ranger can have fun using just its class features no matter what the DM like it says or does.
Yeah, I liked the wording there. They called them Mother May I features.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate. And at the same time, I also they mentioned the thief as well, and their quick hands feature, which includes the use an object action, which was removed in the UA. And how that was removed because it's just sort of a confusing wording. It involves the DM saying, well, I guess you can do that because it's not explicitly stated. But there's a lot of like rule checking that's involved with that because nothing else in the game really requires you to know specifically what the use an object action does.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that removal. But I was interested, and they didn't bring it up. It's something that I would consider a Mother May I feature is inspiration, and how the DM has to be the arbiter of that in the current edition. There also wasn't any mention of anyone who was particularly upset with the updated inspiration rules and how you get that on a long rest, or the feats involved with that, and the fact that humans get inspiration at the end of their long rest. Apparently that was all very well received, so okay, I can live with it.
I can live with it too. I know even if it's still like a 70% thing, it might still get tweaked a little bit based on because they've put out a couple different versions now. So I don't know. I liked the expert classes one better, so I'm just hoping it got received better than the first one.
Yep, we'll see. Maybe they didn't say anything about it because they've got more plans.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not too worried about it. I mean, inspiration, the way we've been doing inspiration lately, I've really enjoyed. Where it's like, okay, here, you've got it for the moment, like, enjoy it. And you guys aren't being too, like, you're not saving it too much. It's just like, yeah, let's go ahead and use the inspiration. Like,
well, I'll tell you why. It's because every situation we're in at 15th level is a deadly situation.
Oh yeah, no, I mean the current standing in our campaign, definitely you're gonna be needing inspiration. Okay, any final thoughts on the video today?
No, I feel quite satisfied.
Me as well. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening to Table Talk Friday, a D&D podcast. This has been Seth Pittman and Zachary Carvon. You can find us on Twitter at Table Talk Friday, but don't expect us to be there for too long. It is burning to the ground. Jesus, dude. We are not paying $8 for a blue check mark, mind you. Absolutely not. Moving on. Well, you can find us on TikTok at Table Talk Friday. You can find us probably on Instagram at Table Talk Friday, on YouTube at Table Talk Friday. You can find us on patreon.com/Table Talk Friday, where you can get a bevy of bonus content. So much stuff, just not enough space. And with that, can I have the Arcana from the Earth take me out?
It's me, the Arcana from the Earth. Oh, I've got gravel in my lungs, and that's why I talk like this. But I hope you all enjoyed the episode. It was a good one, and we all missed Drew. So I hope that you hope he gets better for next time, because I hope it too. All right, now you all have a good night, and here's a kiss from me. Mwah.